It is Friday. RawMikeRichards.com. This is going to be a good Friday. Can you say that? Or is it going to be a great Friday? Friday. Well, I'm ready to go. We have picks aplenty. You got the Dave Bastel foreplay. The Mike Richards sexy picks of gold sex. I think that's what it is. Jimmy the Bag hasn't been on the show in a while, going to make his way in. Victor Newman, who normally would be on a Thursday, but today he's going to be on a Friday. And then we have some crazy news about that particular character that you won't believe, but it's true. There's a lot going on in the show today. But now I'm obsessed by something. By the way, all picks brought to you by Sports Interaction, our new sponsors. That is the book that we're using, and I'm telling you right now, I went to it yesterday. It is so easy to use. And Dave, the bonus that you're getting with them to start it off is 100% all the way up to $200. So if you put 200 down, yeah, that's right.
You're getting 4.
You're getting 4.
That's fantastic.
The odds are great. The site is so easy to use. They've got in play.
Did we tweet out the link of where they have to actually follow? Because if you sign up on Sports Interaction, make sure you scroll down and find Raw Mike Richards, because that will guarantee your bonus. You don't just want to go there and say, here's my $200. Where can I go? It's like, no. You actually have to drop down Raw Mike Richards, get your bonus 100%. That's pretty good. I mean, even if you sit there and go, you know what, I only got $100 on me, boom, you got $200 now. That's how good that is.
Yeah, it is. It's very easy to use. It's great value, and we're going to give you some real winners today. I think covering almost exclusively football. I don't think I have any. I don't think I'm going to do some prem picks, but it is a day that you certainly don't want to miss, and we're thrilled to have Sports Interaction with us, because I'm telling you, it'll be a great way to give you money, give you great picks, and have you win. As I mentioned beforehand, Victor Newman will also make his way in, and we've got an unbelievable announcement about that particular character, and we're thrilled about that as well. Then coming up next week, we've got some more big, fat announcements that we're just thrilled about. Like I said, as it moves along, Dave, that's what we're doing.
Nobody likes announcements like you.
No, I love announcements. I wish I could make them. I wish I could make them.
You have an announcement about what Russell's wearing today?
See, you're egging me on because I'm obsessing about it right now. I fucking love it. Okay, let's do it, because we got our good friend Kevin Porter's tweeted in.
Okay.
Our buddy Jake has also tweeted in. I think we also have that on our, what do we call it, live ticker? What's the thing that we have? Our live ticker? Okay.
Yeah.
So
live chat, right?
Live chat.
Yeah.
Live chat. Which, by the way, that's going to be sponsored too.
Yeehaw!
It just never ends. Tell your friends.
Hudson Kerr tweets in, or live chats in. Good morning, guys. Recovering from gallbladder surgery. Awesome to catch you guys live yesterday and today rather than on the podcast. Loving it. Bring on the picks. Hey, Hudson, how you doing, man? I'm glad you're doing well. Thanks for listening, as always.
Hud gallbladder. You know what you need? You need some of that, the venison sausages that you make and the salsa. I'm not a doctor. I just sometimes tell girls late at night that I am. So, Hud, thanks for joining us. Awesome guy. There's hats that occasionally are given away, or there's freebies in a bar. So here we are at Pacific Junction, 234 King Street East. And for some reason, well, I know what it is. It's Oktoberfest. And Sam Adams, that I didn't realize were that involved necessarily with Oktoberfest, have these Oktoberfest. What are you saying? These Alpine-looking Austrian hats. So if right now, here's your music.
Come on down, roast beef.
Take a look at, get a load of this.
Right, see?
Das ist gut.
Yeah.
Wunderbar. Yes.
And he said he's wearing it for the next 3 months.
Look at that. If that's not the picture of Aryan superiority.
Ladies, he's single.
Yeah.
He's single.
That's why, but only a certain kinds of women he's looking for. Alex is going, yeah, shorter ones. Short ones. If you've been called an Oompa Loompa at some point in your life, you could have all of that. Could be yours.
Trust me. He's a catch, man. He's awesome. And shout out to his mom this morning, who's probably watching us.
Hashtag
That's a hashtag?
Yeah. This is your music now, roast beef. It has to be. Look at that. Can you do the dance? Do you know how to do the dance? Oh Christ, I'd pay a lot of money for that. With no shirt. That's what I want to see. I'm sorry. I think it would be great. Look, there it is. That is that. We have to keep that music. That music is so awesome. I'll tell you what's not awesome. Last night's football game. Now, we had Stephen Rapp in yesterday from Sports Interaction. He talked about the under, which so you have, okay, how do I break this down, Dave, in football terms? On Cincinnati, a shit quarterback with a shit offensive line.
Yeah, with bad hair.
Then
bad look. Tons of weapons, doesn't know what to do with it. He's like the guy with the Ferrari and is holding the keys to a Pinto.
But don't you think even his look, it's a little like he should, I don't know, live under a bridge. Like it's sure he's a ginger, but it's a I don't know. It's like he should be on a Super Mario Brothers game or something.
Okay. I can't believe the crappy season he's having right now.
Well, so then they're up against
he is.
Deshaun Watson, the first-year guy who also has a banged-up offensive line. I guess if you're looking at it, and I believe the total is pretty low. It was like 38 or something.
Yep. Just under 40.
If you had chosen the under, then you've done well. And if you watch that game, wow, I really got to hand it to you.
Yeah, congratulations to you for watching that garbage.
It is, Dave. And I got to be honest, the start of the NFL hasn't exactly been parades and magic. The one thing I will say about the league is it is ingrained in our culture and guys like ourselves, even though the game is, what do you call it again? Shit. We watch it. You would have been better off watching the incredible comeback of the Cleveland Indians, who are now, what, 23?
22.
So
Going
that was
23 today.
So they're 22nd. I mean, even though 3-2, it's Kansas City, but that for sure has to be more engaging than 4 quarters of, I don't know, why don't you take it? Well, you take it.
I got good news for you. Want to know next Thursday's game?
Oh, God. What is it?
Rams at 49ers.
Oh, well. Let's line up for that one. Oh, maybe I think I've got something for that, Dave. Let's
Rams at 49ers.
Let's here we go. Say that one more time.
Rams at 49ers.
What the?
You do have it
We
going.
went a long way for that one.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry about that, folks.
Good. Great.
Now I'm obsessed by.
You know what? One play of the
beef.
game, though. One play of the game, I'll tell you. Deshaun Watson, the Michael Vick-like touchdown run was the only play. If you want to watch one play, watch that one touchdown run. I think it was about 50 yards. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me right now. But Watson, and this isn't saying much, led all rushers
Yeah, see, it's terrible. Terrible.
on either team with 5 carries, 67 yards. And 90% of it was on that one scamper, and it was very, very good. He did not look like he had that hampered ankle or whatever.
No, that's the good news.
the
The bad
injury
news
was.
is the stat that you just mentioned, and the fact that so he's in the show now, that quarterbacks who only can move the ball when they run
49 yards, by the way,
is
official.
your season's over.
Yep.
Like I look at both of those. Cincinnati, your season's over. I like Marvin Lewis. But at some point, there's a time to make changes, and that changes now. If you're going to stick with Andy Dalton. Now, look, the only reason to play A.J. McCarron is because Catherine's going to show up in the stadium. And then Brent Musburger is going to go, well, I think all the boys in Alabama right now are out there practicing to throw the football, Dave. Yeah, everyone got mad. That's disgusting. Fuck off. You can't say a girl's pretty. That's wrong, too. She was, by the way, Miss Alabama. Or is that wrong? Just get off our backs. She's stunningly gorgeous. In fact, I'm going to go out and start practicing the football, become an Alabama quarterback.
I think you're in.
Here's one from Brian G. I'm going to get to some of our tweets here this morning. By the way, get a hold of us at Raw Mike Richards or the always very fair at David Bastel.
Yep.
Brian G. Nothing new here, but I had to pause episode 83 and leave my desk at work due to excessive laughter. Incredible. Thanks for the feedback. We appreciate it. Here's one from our good friend Kevin Porter, and we got to catch up with him too. See how he's making out with, because every once in a while, if you go to his well, he's got different sites, but if you go to the Twitter account, you see his workout, like what he's doing is incredible. He goes, how are stock prices with Newman Enterprises? Kevin, my friend, you're going to find out in this show. Apparently, they're pretty damn good. Also, our good friend Young Jake said, oh, yes, Victor, the sport guru. He's got his picks, and guess what? There's only about 4 of them, and they all kind of make sense, so they're pretty good today. Looking forward to that. Once again, we'll get to those picks, so the foreplay, the sexy gold picks of Gold Sex. And Jimmy the Bag, at some point when he gets into the dumpster, he'll roll in here, and he's got his picks.
He's just out back looking for some chicken wings.
He's probably finding he's taking the smokes from the guys who are looking for smokes on the street. So once again, looking at the NFL this weekend and actually looking at the NFL period, the one thing that's really evident, and I'm sorry, it's a bit of a broken record, first teams don't play enough together.
Nope.
They just don't, Dave. And I'll be honest, the way that football now, and in the way, and even it's being coached and taught, there is such a change in a lot of it. You know, some of it for the better. You know, we're talking about player safety, which is paramount in almost any sport that's contact now. Any of the combat sports, Dave. I mean, this is what we're talking about. It has altered the way in which, well, I'll be honest. So in the CFL, during the week, did you see that? It's the CFL, and I heard this on ESPN. Mike and Mike were talking about it. No pads. No pads during practice during the week. I don't know about that. Like, I mean, they are professionals. And so maybe you don't have to do, you know, an hour and a half or whatever you think it's got to. But you know what? I honestly think on those lines, especially the offensive linemen, I think they need to practice in pads.
Soften them up, and then when it gets to Sunday, it's like, eh.
But 20 minutes, Dave. I mean, look, you're going to run through what you've got to run through. And if you've got a feeling on that too, look, if you're a football guy, what do you think? No pads during the week for a professional football team? And again, a lot of it has to do with a lot of the, you know, protocols of keeping players safe. But it is professional football. It's not like we're talking about the 2-a-days, and especially south of the border where they were doing 2 hours each time. And that's when, of course, you saw deaths. Yep. And that's why they changed that. And look, 2-a-days are just, I can't even get my head around that they actually did that stuff. But
heck, we used to do that in high school.
Did you do 2-a-days in high school?
Yeah. High school. Our camp would actually start probably mid-August. So the 2 weeks leading into September, which you come back to school after Labor Day, we'd have 9 o'clock in the morning practice, and we'd go 9 to 11. Everybody would be let go for, you know, lunch, whatever, and we'd be back at 3 o'clock.
Sounds like a dream to me. Hey, how were the grades?
Not great.
David Bastel. Wow. What letter is that?
I created a couple.
It's not an A, B, C, or a D. Yes, but he's their starting linebacker and our quarterback.
It was a lot of fun.
Sounds like an A to me.
Got the jacket though, right?
Yeah, I was going to say. Is there anything better than a football? Like, no. Look, I don't know how many hockey jackets
we got the. It was a leather jacket.
So you have the sleeves,
full leather. Yeah.
I'm telling you, those are the best jackets.
I know.
I know some guys who played only just like, do you make the team? Do I get a jacket? Yeah, you get a jacket. They never see the field.
And the minute you get the jacket, it never comes off. You wear it in class.
Of course you do.
You wear a thing. It'd be, you know, because you'd get it probably, okay, so the season started in September. You'd get it probably late October, so it's starting to get a little bit chillier in Manitoba, right?
Yeah, but you're wearing the jacket anyway.
But you're wearing the jacket anyway, yeah.
You know who look good in a football jacket? Russell, can you stand by David for a second? I really, if you could just, yeah.
Here we go.
You can. This is with the football jacket on right
this
there.
This is a football jacket. And with the hat too.
Yeah, with the hat for sure.
Yeah.
Get off the field, nerd.
No. You can't say that about a
absolutely
kicker.
Not. Yeah, I was going to say. And the kick is blocked.
Okay, kicker, punter.
Yeah,
okay,
and then they play this as the other team runs down the field. They play this music. He's to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, and it is a touchdown. The second block kick.
That's not NFL films I'm listening to.
By
right
that
now.
little kid who's got the weird Hitler hat on it. Don't understand the team at all. Yeah. See, I'm now that music is that superseded the shit music.
Stick around. That music's coming
No, it's
back
coming
in the
back.
next 10 minutes.
Definitely coming back. I mentioned Cleveland now. So we said if you keep that bet in, and Russell, you had the picture of just how it escalated. If you started with, and I think it was $100.
$100 was the first bet. Yep.
Like no one's done this. Like
No,
we're not looking at someone who goes, wow, they're really letting that thing ride.
And just like Steven Rapp said to us the other day, where can I find
Yeah.
a place that's going to take $750,000 bet on a game?
Yeah,
It's like,
gee, Steven, you didn't sound like a grouchy old man at all. So that would be up to was it 21 that you were talking about? I think because it was at 20.
Yeah.
So
then
it's
go to-
two since then.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, I can't even imagine.
So you're
because,
2 million, almost 3 million, maybe.
Yeah, because you're sitting there going 890 times the probably 1.45.
Dave, you just talked about your high school career.
I know.
I don't think we need you doing the math on this.
And then that jumps.
You should be, you should get a job as someone's capologist. Can you imagine that? They open up the door. There's bras everywhere. There's Captain Moore. There's dark rum everywhere. And they said, well, can we afford R.J. Trubinsky? Yeah, sure we can.
We'll make it work.
Yeah. Hey.
We'll make it work.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, tell your sister I said hi. Tell her DJ Styles said, la, 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 la. No, I won't do that.
Yeah, you know how it works.
Yeah.
If you want something badly enough, you make it work.
Yeah, just like Ballers. Oh my God, I love that show. If you haven't seen Ballers, what are you watching? See, here's the other thing too. In a real sense, if you're the NFL, you're looking at Sunday night games, and I haven't even looked ahead. What's the Sunday night?
Oh, it's a good Sunday night.
So
Green Bay and
Okay.
Atlanta.
Oh, that's
in Atlanta.
the green. Well, everyone is all over Atlanta in this. Do you notice that?
Oh yeah,
They're all over Atlanta.
Well, including me because it's under a field goal right now.
Okay, but don't do don't tease the foreplay. Does that make sense? Because I think that's what foreplay actually
Yeah,
is.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So extra teasing with the foreplay. Only here, folks. Once again, Victor Newman's picks. We have the sexy gold sex of sexy picks of gold sex. That's what it is. Some new fantastic intros today too. Eventually there'll be videos because that's how it works. That's how we evolve. But that's how that's going to happen. By the way, so looking at I just have never seen this where you look at. It says the past 10. If you look at go to ESPN or go wherever you follow baseball, it's like last 10. Cleveland Indians 10-0. Like, wow,
Not bad.
that's pretty good. Until you go to streak. W22. That looks like a typo.
Yeah, it does.
They are now 13. Remember we talked about the Twins and possibly the Royals even making some kind of weird run?
Yep.
You can't even
No
see them.
thanks.
You can't see them. Look, I don't want to see the Twins, the Royals. And quite honestly, the Cleveland Indians with this run, if you're the Houston Astros, like, how are you feeling good? I mean, I know you got Justin Verlander now, but I can't think of the last significant game they even had. If you're the Houston Astros, where are you sitting right now? And let's also add to it. Let's also add what's happened to your city as well.
Bingo.
So I don't know, man. I take a look at this. I'm like,
not only that, Mike. You look at that. Cleveland's kind of taken full control of the American League, and in the National League, the Dodgers don't want to play baseball anymore, right? Dodgers.
yeah,
are,
what?
the
I've
Dodgers
never
are
seen
like-
anything like this.
The Dodgers are like 3-16 in their last 19 games or something like that.
They're 2-8 in their last 10. They're 9.5 up on the Diamondbacks. Now
they've won the division already.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you
got to play some ball at some point.
Yeah, you're crawling into the postseason like that. Oof.
Do you think they're going now? They phone up and it's the organization. They call up Clayton Kershaw. Hey, Clayton, you feel like playing now? Can you hang on? Yeah, it's them. Yeah. Well, when?
Yeah, well,
Like, I don't know.
They'd love to know that.
Some of these guys, I'm amazed. Like, if I'm looking at the National League right now, and so if you're the Dodgers, if you're the Cubs, maybe the Nationals, slightly different mindset. Are we seeing the powers in the American League
yes,
going into the playoffs?
yes.
because there's a bunch of teams in there I don't think you want to play, and maybe I'm putting Cleveland at the top of that list. The only thing I don't know, and Jimmy the Bag's going to come in here in a couple of minutes, the only thing I don't know is when you go on such a crazy streak, as we mentioned the other day, 22 wins. 22 wins. Are you carrying the weight of the streak? Or are you starting to focus on what you need to do in postseason? Or for that team, and maybe it's one and the same, which, by the way, would be very, very rare.
You know what, though? When we're back here on Monday morning, the streak's going to be over. They're not going to win tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. I actually think they will win tonight. It's Trevor Bauer tonight, 16-8, otherwise known as Drone Boy. He gets a start against Kansas City. So you look at that and you go, okay, I could see them winning tonight, but the streak cannot last until the end of the month. That is not happening right now.
Then they have Jason Hamill, and it's do you see who pitches the next night?
What is it, Carrasco?
Carrasco.
Yeah, and I think it's Kluber. Okay, maybe
Like,
they're winning
it's
all three
insane.
games. I'm just saying.
Do you think the teams go out and they go, maybe we can? It's Carrasco tonight. Oh fuck, guys, come on, we can do it. No, we can't. Clearly, we can't.
They can't
because no one can.
They can't put a bad pitcher on the mound. Maybe Mike Clevenger is the weak sister of the group, but he's 10-3.
I don't know. Maybe Russell, could you come over here for a second? I just have a question for you. Maybe if they put this guy in the mound tonight, pitching now for the Cleveland Indians, number 00, Russell Graham.
He's our guy.
All right.
He's our guy.
All right, Kansas City. Now let's get out there and win one. Sorry,
can
Russell.
take
Look at
Kansas
that.
City, right?
Awesome. Thank you, Sam Adams. Thank you, Sam Adams, for the sight gag.
He likes to be called Samuel Adams.
Oh,
Yeah.
Samuel Adams.
Samuel.
Okay, there's. I see that Jimmy the Bag has made his way. He's sweating already.
He is.
What are you sweating for?
Is he nervous or?
I don't know. No, he's not nervous.
Okay.
Maybe he's and he'll be sitting in this chair today too.
Oh, okay.
Because there's so much going on.
There is.
We'll fix that up. So as we make way for the one and only Jimmy the Bag,
Let's bring him in.
you know his work, you've seen it, and after you watch this, he is in studio on rawmike.com.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters? What up, sleuths? What up, mama? What up, baseball fans? And sadly, for the very last time, what up to the SBR family? You heard me right. It saddens me to inform you that this is my last video on SBR. I don't want to leave SBR. This is not my choice. The bag is being let go by Sportsbook Review. They are letting me do one more video to say goodbye, and then that's it. You see, the day before yesterday, my daily video on SBR received 128 dislikes. Yesterday, I received a call from Zach Jones at SBR informing me that SBR takes dislikes very seriously, and 128 dislikes is just too many. And I said, Zach, my videos get like 600 to 1,000 views a day on your channel. It's only 128 dislikes. And he said, Jimmy, I don't think you understand the power of dislikes. They are very, very powerful. And because you got so many, we have to let you go. And I said, but Zach, I think these dislikes are phony. I think they were almost all put there by one person. And he said, it doesn't matter, Jimmy. Even if it was just one person, that one person has defeated you. They won and you lost. And I realized it was true. I realized that whoever the person was who did that had defeated the bag. They won and the bag lost.
No.
I cried for about an hour.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I called my mom.
Oh no.
I cried for about 2.
What is this I'm hearing about that SBR? You can just talk right into there.
Sure.
What is that all about?
I wasn't. I don't know what was.
Here,
what was
talk into this little fella.
What was the clip?
About SBR saying that some guy put all kinds of dislikes and they panicked.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's
What's that all about?
Well, with YouTube, you can drop a lot of scams, right? You can pay,
Sure you can.
You can pay for views.
Oh, you can do all kinds of bullshit stuff to make things look the way you want it to look.
It costs $10 for 1,000 views. It costs $10 for what is it? How many dislikes? 25 dislikes, I believe. So if you want to put 100 dislikes on somebody's thing, it costs $40.
Can
And
you
people
go
do
through
this.
YouTube and do this?
And people
Really?
do that.
No, it's not through YouTube, right?
I was
It's
going to
not-
say.
No, there's companies that do this
computer
stuff.
Spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people who do this stuff. That's just
I didn't know this.
so stupid. Like seriously, get a goddamn life.
Hey,
really.
Bag, Dodgers. I know you were on the Dodgers earlier on this summer. What's happening to them right now, man? I mean,
Do they like baseball?
Well, what's happening is unprecedented.
honestly,
It is. It's so weird. And then on the other hand, Cleveland. We'll get to that too because that's just weird. That's like that Major League 3 or something. Or what this movie's going to be. It makes no sense.
Well, with the Dodgers, I think that doubt has creeped in to that clubhouse for the first time all year, and doubt is a giant thing. I was shocked when Kershaw came back that he didn't stop it right away. He got lit up in 3 1/3, but Kershaw never has 2 bad starts in a row. I had so much money on Kershaw's next start versus the Giants, and they barely squeaked past.
That's
this
right.
anemic Giant offense.
Yeah.
Bases loaded in the 6th inning again.
the
8th
worst
inning.
team in the National
Yeah,
League.
and I know for a fact the Giants, they don't like baseball.
No, they don't. They do not like baseball.
So there's no doubt. There's no doubt that there's something wrong in LA, and I can't sit here and feel confident. I think if they were in a 7-game series with the Nationals right now, that the Nationals would win. Strasburg is the best pitcher in the National League right now, but Scherzer looks susceptible. I mean, who is going to beat the Dodgers until they get to the NLCS? Now, if they were to play, let's say, the Diamondbacks in the first round, that would be a scary situation.
You don't want to. No, I don't think anyone wants to play those
Nobody
guys,
wants
especially
to
the
play the
Dodgers.
Diamondbacks right now.
Their pitching staff has come together in a big way. Did you see Zach Godley's last outing yesterday? 8 shutout innings. He got 9 strikeouts the game before on his curveball. He's 3rd in the league with strikeouts on his curveball. It's just nasty. Then you got Rob Ray pitching the way he is. Greinke is 13-1 at home. So yeah, I'm not comfortable with my Dodgers action anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not very confident in it. I don't know how anybody could be.
How weird could this be? And I don't know what the odds would be this because I don't know if even in the futures they would have this. But in terms of a World Series matchup, what if it ended up being Cleveland versus the Diamondbacks? What are the odds of that happening?
Well, they weren't.
They're not. It's not insane anymore.
No.
Not really.
Well, who's going to beat Cleveland? I mean, I heard you guys just talking about the Astros. Thank God they got Verlander because their pitching staff is falling apart. McCullers Jr., who looks so good being here, has shoulder fatigue. Fires can't be in the starting rotation anymore. He's getting completely lit up. Morton is pitching okay. I mean, who do you have after Verlander and Keuchel?
Nothing.
By the way, Keuchel. Yeah. Come on, Keuchel. Get out there. Kill him. Kill the players, Keuchel. Sorry, now I just music should never shut up.
No, we needed that. Yeah. We needed that boost.
Yeah. I think that, you look at so it's kind of it's hard to do because you're just getting towards the playoffs in baseball. But you kind of put that beside you and go, okay, so whatever craziness, and it seems like Major League Baseball in postseason, every year is a goddamn circus. It's a freak show. You never know what's going to happen. If I skip the postseason and I look at the trends going into next year, because, unless Cleveland's going to win every single game that they ever play for the next year and a half, like their Arsenal in 2001, then are we saying it is the year of the Yankees? Is it the year of the Bo Sox? Can you even jump that far and go, well, how can you say that? I'm just looking at sort of what has been built, who's going forward and who's going up. Because the Dodgers are in it now for the now. I get that part. Are the Yankees and the Bo Sox the American League dominant teams of 2018?
You'd have to think that their franchises are moving in the right direction, especially here in Toronto when we see our franchise moving in the wrong direction.
Because it's going back. Next year, it's definitely going back. It might be the next 2 years.
Yeah, I was thinking 90 losses the next 2 years for the Jays. I do think that the Dodgers' best players are Corey Seager and Cody Bellinger.
Young kids.
Yeah, so they're fine. They're going to be good. But, yeah, it's the future is the Yankees and the Red Sox. Now, the Red Sox offense is going to cost them in the playoffs. They just don't create enough big plays. They don't put enough crooked numbers on the board. They have to manufacture all their runs. And that gets tedious in the playoffs when you're going up against the best pitchers and the best arms out of the bullpen. So, but I do think that the Yankees are going to become scarier and scarier. And it'll be interesting to see if they make a run at Harper It'll be interesting to see if
Yeah.
Harper's a broken player now. He seems like he can't play 162 games, especially at the speed he likes to play.
And, yeah, it's the way he plays. Like, okay, so, and that's a great point that you bring up. If you're in the Harper sweepstakes, is there someone whispering in your ear within the organization, Dave, saying, let's take a pass? I don't think we're going to get the mileage.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would pass on that if I'm the New York Yankees, considering the guy's going to be asking for $30 million a season. I don't think there's value there. I do not think there's value in there. I think you could take I'm not going to say a cheaper route in a Machado at third base, because he's probably going to cost you at least 25 to 28 million a season. But I think there's more value in there. Plus, you're stealing within the division of the Baltimore Orioles. And the Orioles, you talk about the bad Jays team. Orioles are going to be right there beside the Jays because not only are the Orioles aging, they don't have any prospects coming up through that system, and that pitching staff is just garbage. It's absolute garbage. They're either free agents or there's nothing there left for the Baltimore Orioles. I'd be scared of that. I'd add the Cleveland Indians to that mix for the next 2 years because that pitching staff is under control contract-wise, and they are phenomenal. We were talking about Carrasco and Bauer and Kluber. You know what? You could run out 4 to 5 pitchers that have double-digit wins, ERAs under 4. That's why the Cleveland Indians, the streak's going to break. That's fine. And I hope it does for their sake because it would be kind of hard, because a lot of times when you're streaking, you go on a little bit of a dip. You don't want to make your dip in October.
Yeah, that's the only thing I worry about is that, there is a weight to a win streak. And when it's a crazy win streak, it's like, oh, are they ever going to lose? At some point, it's like, let's lose.
Yeah.
Let's get Graham on the mound tonight, and let's just lose like 50 to nothing.
Roast beef, Graham.
Yeah, I just now roast beef. Can you find that the betting progression that we had the other day? If you went in when they started, was it the Bo Sox or whatever that first game was? I think it was the Bo Sox that started this whole streak. And I don't know, Bag, if you saw that, but if you took, and no one would do this. You wouldn't do it.
Yeah, maybe the Bag would.
Yeah. They put $100 in and then just let it ride, and they watched, based on the numbers you got in each individual game, how much money you actually would end up. And 2 games ago, so when they hit the 20th mark, and I think that's what we're going to show right here on the screen if you're watching rawmikerichards.com, if you're watching on the dedicated YouTube channel, I believe the last number they stopped at, roast beef, is at 20?
Yeah.
And it was 800 and something thousand?
884,200.
Yeah, so they have now won 2 games since that time. So based on being all in, they got to be, it would be 1 point something after the first one.
Yeah.
And then so you're almost it could be $2 or $3 million. $3 million.
Incredible. There was 2 guys who did that with the Packers last year when Rodgers said that
Streak.
we'll
Oh,
win
yeah.
out. And I forget the number that they used, but they kept letting it ride. That's what we call it, right? In the horse.
Yeah,
horses
letting it
action. You
ride,
let
that's right.
You take all your money, you let it ride on the next game, the next game, the next game. And so when the Packers were in the NFC final,
Did they take it to the
they
Falcons
took
game?
it to the Falcons game. And it was,
Oh, God.
it was multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, And they just got killed. Which brings us to this Sunday's Falcons-Packers
Yes.
game. How fast sports changes.
Yeah.
A few months ago, that Packers team went into that dome and got destroyed, had no defense, didn't have enough wide receiving options. Now that Packers team goes into that building as monsters, huge defense.
You think so, eh?
Well, I mean, if you look at even the way odds work, the Falcons are only 2.5-point favorites. You give 3 points to a home team.
Well, I got them at 2.5. That Falcons game's at 2.5 on Sports Interaction.
yeah.
So that you're playing with that field goal.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that Seattle team's a nice team on defense, but that offensive line,
Yeah,
1,
porous,
2,
yeah.
3, 4, 5, go in front of Russell Wilson. That was not a very good. I think that offensive line of the Seattle Seahawks made the Packers defense look a little better than what they really are.
Sure, and I think that Cincinnati Bengals offensive line makes the Seattle Seahawks offensive line look even better
That's
than they
just-
are.
Absolutely.
That is just so terrible.
And that's so sad, too, considering the weapons the Bengals do actually have at the wide receiver position, a decent trio of running backs, and they haven't scored a touchdown in 8 quarters.
This is why I talked about Marvin Lewis, and when I'm talking about, as much as I like the guy, he's an admirable man and all that kind of stuff. But if I know that my offensive line is that banged up, and I have whatever it is, the weapons that I have, whatever those weapons happen to be, now I have to alter what I do to take them the best chance I have of winning to get through that game with a porous offensive line. I'm not seeing any changes. I'm just seeing them still go with the playbook that generally they have for the last couple of years, where Andy Dalton hasn't been that great anyway. And so now it's even more important to, I don't know, do you go quicker pace? Do you try to find something on the ground? Are you going, I'm not saying go West Coast necessarily, but there's got to be something that tells me on the coaching side that I recognize the problem I'm in, and I am altering what I do. I'm not seeing any of that. None of it.
I tell you what, they should all be fired. Is what should happen. They should all be fired.
I agree.
Ken Zampese, the offensive coordinator.
You bet
is
the
a
Bengals
joke.
too, eh?
No, I had Texans, man. I did not believe in the Bengals. We said in our pre-show before the NFL started that the Bengals were worse than the Browns. We made that statement. We said the Bengals were the worst team in the division, and they're just proving it time and time again. Ken Zampese, as the offensive coordinator, is a joke. He can't now. Obviously, he can't utilize his weapons because the general manager didn't give them an offensive line that can protect these guys and allow these guys to make the plays. But, I mean, the difference with that offense from Hugh Brown over to Ken Zampese is just a joke. And I like that North division. Like, I love those teams so much. The Steelers, Ravens, Browns, Bengals, and I love seeing the Bengals take it in the drink hole. It gives me all this happiness just to watch them take it and take it and take it.
By the way, speaking of the Bengals, next week they're in Green Bay.
Yeah.
So enjoy that, boys.
Oh, yeah.
They could go 3 games without scoring a touchdown.
Speaking of how some teams are so much better than other teams, these two matchups in the NFL this Sunday are just locks to me. The Raiders at minus 13.5 against the Jets team.
Got 'em on my ticket.
Love that.
This Jets team could easily go 0-16. If the spread was 21 points, I would still take the Raiders.
Well, should we get to now? Because what we have to do? So we've got bag picks today. We've got the sexy picks of gold sex from myself.
Shit.
We've got David Pastel's foreplay. Believe that. Can you,
man, it doesn't sound quite as sexy as Vic's.
Yeah. And then Victor Newman's passionate picks, and you won't believe the crazy announcement I'm going to make after Vic comes in, because this is just nuts.
So we get Dave's foreplay just to get us in the right mood.
Foreplay gets us in the mood. You got that. See, you're following along. So you let me know when we want to get to that stuff, because that's
Well, who's up first? Who do you
no.
want
So it's going to go Jimmy,
Bags first?
Jimmy, gold sex, foreplay,
Okay.
Victor. This
Okay,
is what
let's
we're
do
gonna
it.
do.
Jimmy,
want?
you're on the clock, man. Wait for the...
Okay, well, we've got to find some exciting and dramatic music, as you know, because that's
I thought you were going to go with the Oktoberfest music.
we're gonna
Not for Jimmy. What
not
the
for
fuck,
Jimmy.
man?
Come on,
Come on.
He's been through enough. he's just exhausted.
Are you
here
looking
today.
forward, or do you have something, or do you want me
Dave,
to talk?
Come on, no. We're
I just wanted to talk about this day in history. Okay.
Well, there is actually a bunch. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll
Okay.
do, how about this one then?
Ooh. Okay, I like this. This day in history, 30 years ago today.
Yeah.
Tonight, it would have been, because it happened at night. Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, Cops Coliseum. Let me paint the picture for anybody who missed it.
Well, maybe.
Dale Howardchuck is centering.
Oh boy. Yeah, I wonder how. I'm thinking. Okay. Oh yeah, this is an easy. This is an easy tie-in.
Dale Howardchuck is centering Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky in the Canadian zone to the left of Grant Fuhr, who's had a fantastic series so far. This is Game 3. All the games have been decided 6-5. He wins the face-off. The puck moves up the ice. Gretzky to Mario Lemieux in the high slot. Lemieux goes high glove side. Canada wins 6-5. It happened today, 30 years ago, in what was, in my opinion, the greatest international game that I've seen live with my own eyes.
That game was crazy.
Because I wasn't around for 72.
Yeah.
I wanted to be around for 72.
72 was great too.
Yeah, but
for different reasons, and that's why when people start comparing eras of sport in almost any sport, I don't do it, because I don't get it. Because you're the best of what you are at that time, with the equipment that was available, with the training that was known at the time, with the coaching that was done at that time. How you can compare 72 to like Salt Lake, like or any of the others, or
the golden goal,
or
Sidney
Sydney's,
Crosby's golden goal.
I just look. The thing with let's look at the Vancouver Olympics.
Yep.
That was one of the best international hockey tournaments I had seen maybe ever, because there were times where there were like 3 or 4 nations that could play and everyone else sucked. You were going to beat Italy by 40 points. Japan or someone gets in there. Even at the time, Switzerland wasn't very good. Germany couldn't score. Go down the list. Latvia was like all these situations have changed so grossly over the years that we actually have decent hockey. If Canada doesn't concentrate and plays the Swiss poorly, if they play Germany poorly, I mean, they're going to get pushed by countries that never push back. That's why I can't compare it back to those days, because if you go back to 72, the thing that is the most significant to me is the methodology of the Russians changed the way in which we trained, the way in which even nutrition, the way that we did hockey strategy, what we did before the game. It all changed after 72 because they came in slightly chubby. They were at the cottage all summer. They thought that the Russians were garbage. There was very poor scouting.
Yep.
They just assumed they'd get on the ice and they'd win because guess what? At that age, I'm sitting there, my grandparents, Hamilton, Ontario. I just finished like a Silver Stick tournament, and you watch the game in Montreal, and all of a sudden there's the Team Canada. They score, like right away they're scoring. Like, oh my God, look at the Russians. They have brown skates. Okay, brown skates. Good luck with that, assholes. Like I just thought, oh my God. And next thing you know, our guys, ironically, start getting a little tired. What's the matter, Phil? What's going on out there? Fuck off, asshole. Like, I mean, that's just kind of what it looked like. And then somehow, and people say, well, Paul Henderson wouldn't even made the 87 team. Yeah, I know. He barely made that one. It doesn't matter. That's the part of sport. That is the lore and the legend of what happens. I mean, you can go through almost any sport you can think of over the years. There are guys who became heroes that maybe even the following year, they don't even play. But that's how sports work. So I don't make these comparisons, but I can talk about how engaging or how exciting something was. And you go back to 87 and look at that goal. And I know because I watched it. You'll like this story, Jimmy. You can relate to this. I'm one of my first jobs, so I'm working at 1050 Chum. Like 1050 Chum, favorites of yesterday and today. I'm one of those. My first job. And my cousin who we talked to in, he'll hate this story.
Where does he rank in the cousin meter?
Well, he was probably first then too.
Oh, jeez.
Until he set our house on fire.
That'll happen.
That's going to drop.
So I'm on the air, and I had some, as you do, the hotline went, and I had some kinds of girls in there. Then what did you do, Mike? That kind of stuff.
Sure.
And the phone rings. Hey, Mike, got to go home. Why? The house is on fire. Hey, we're going to play 12 in a row. And I go in and I see it. And you know what? There's a Chinese guy who rented us because we're renting in Leaside, who rented us out. And the first thing he said to me when we walk in with three guys, he goes, oh, you guys, you're not going to burn the house on fire. No, who'd do that? Like it was just, and Kevin, my cousin Kevin, who we talked to in Florida, who saved his house. Not so much the saving back then.
No way.
So the house is burned out. Everyone went to like their parents. I'm like, well, I'm still working at Chum. I gotta stay in the bottom. So I stayed in the basement of the burned out house watching that game.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good story.
So it's like, did someone score? Can't see, my eyes are burning. My eyes are burning.
Smell the ashes.
Better chase it down with some beer. That ought to fix it. So it was truly an incredible moment. Hopefully we can get Dougie Gilmore in here and we'll talk about some of those moments and that tournament in Hamilton. And to think what people thought was going to happen in that city with professional hockey, with Copps Coliseum, and I don't think they're ever going to get a team.
No, I don't think so.
Ever.
Either. Which is too bad.
It is too bad.
Because you have the Maple Leafs sitting there going, well, infringing, and then you have the Buffalo Sabres sitting there going, oh, infringing. It's like, come on.
Yeah, really. Seriously?
You could put 3 teams in the GTA and they'd all succeed. You know what I mean? It's just, it's kind of disappointing. But nonetheless, the Copps Coliseum probably going to be torn down before they ever get anything else. Yeah. So we'll see. Anyway, is it time for picks?
Okay, so now we're going to get to the excitement. Oh, no, not this one. No, sorry.
That's not. That's anyway.
No, that's not. It's the polka music. That's not right. No, that's
need something sexualized.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, sexualized.
How many picks do you have, by the way, on this one?
Oh, geez, I got lists of picks. I got fucking. What sports do you want? I got them covered.
We're talking NFL. And by the way, while we're talking NFL, sportsinteraction.com. Go to it right now. 100% bonus on your first deposit of $200. So $200 becomes $400 right away.
How cool is that?
Use the drop down. Find Raw Mike Richards. Make sure you tell them because they want to know. Hey, where'd you find us? You found us here at Raw Mike Richards, and capitalize. points, man. This is early. We're early in the NFL season. This is only week number 2. You got a lot of betting ahead of you. SportsInteraction.com is where you do it.
Yeah, they have better lines than Bet365.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's important, and I mentioned this yesterday, it's important to have different accounts. You need to
Yeah, you
find,
talked about that yesterday.
You need to find the best lines. That's what, if you gamble for a living, the books win too often. So how can you find an advantage? And it's by studying all of the different lines at each book. And Sports Interaction gives you great lines. It's a quality operation, and they give you better odds than Bet365.
Oh, there you go. Here's some.
This is good
It
music.
builds. It's called
Yeah.
Intrepid.
It is good.
Intrepid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so now,
Jimmy the Bag's Intrepid picks. Is that what you're saying?
yes. The hell's going on here? What is going on? So now I give you officially for the first time ever, NFL Jimmy the Bag picks on rawmike.richards.com.
Shit, yeah.
Take 2.
Raiders minus 13.5 over the Jets. It is a lock. Seahawks minus 14 over the Niners. It is a lock.
A lot of
That
locks.
49ers, they're not even going to put up 3 points. When they lost Reuben Foster 11 minutes into the first quarter against the Panthers, they no longer had a defense. They are going to be destroyed by the Seabirds. And that's what Seahawks do, right? They shit on people's heads.
Yeah.
And the 49ers are going to get their heads shat on.
Yeah. Shatters.
Shatters, that's right.
Yeah.
So those are my 2 locks. Those
Locks.
are
Yeah.
locks.
I love
Yeah.
the locks. Love locks.
These are the next level of games that I will be hammering. First off, Redskins plus 3 over the Rams. Live dog. I'll tell you what, the Rams aren't going to go 2-0. Pack of fucking clowns. Reason why they look so good is because they were up against the Colts. Second worst team in the league. Made them look like superstars. They're going to get... The Skins are a better football team. It comes down to that. The Skins will beat the Rams in L.A. Secondly, Patriots minus 6.5 at Saints. You know who's going to bounce back? A man named Bill Belichick. That's a guy you can put faith in. That's a guy you can trust. Belichick is going to bounce back. Also in that game, over 56 points. They are going to light.
points.
That's
It
wow.
started 54 and the line is moving up. There's a reason why that line is moving up, because these 2 defenses are awful. These 2 offenses are very good. And the Saints offense didn't look so good just because the Vikings D is so good. But I'm telling you, Breeze and Michael Thomas are going to look good and get their shit together. There's going to be a lot of points in that game. Now, just to throw out a couple other sports before we move on, I like Triple G over Canelo on Saturday night. I also really like this college line of Tulane at plus 35 against Oklahoma. Tulane can cover that spread easily, and that will be a really fun game to watch. Also today, Dodgers Nationals over 9.5. There's a reason why Edwin Jackson's been on 12 teams. Alex Wood is no longer the pitcher that he looked at the All-Star game. He's fallen apart. Over 9.5. Also, Dirty Sanchez, Anibal Sanchez is going to get lit up like always, so take the over in the Tigers-White Sox game. And then I like Indians to win their 23rd game in a row behind that drone pilot clown, Trevor Bauer. What kind of loser calls himself a pilot when his feet don't leave the ground?
Yeah. It's not really a pilot, really. More standing.
Would not leave my children around Trevor Bauer, but we'll bet on him in this game.
There we go. And I also apologize that the music got really weird, and then the girl started singing.
That was kind of weird in the middle of it.
When the fat lady sings, yeah, I know. I don't know. I know. Okay, so there it is.
Maybe she liked the picks.
The bag picks. Now there could be some controversy on this show. There could be.
Okay.
Because I think there's a difference here.
That's
and
okay.
because for the first time ever, we don't have the video part of it, but we certainly have the brand new intro for this.
And now it's time for Mike Richards' sexy picks of gold sex.
I love gold.
Brought to you by Sports Interaction, Canada's online sports book.
Yeah, there we go. So here we go with the sex gold picks, the gold sex. I like Oklahoma.
Oh,
I got it at 34.5. I got it under. I like it. Tulane. I've seen too many years of the Green Wave getting all excited, and then they go to a place like this and have their I'll say hearts ripped out. I was going to use a different part,
Yeah.
but I really think that Oklahoma, after watching them last week too, man, do they look good. So I like them to cover because in this day and age of the college playoff, you got to beat guys. You can't just kind of win by like 3 touchdowns. If Tulane is not considered to be a big team, then they must die. And I think that's going to happen in Oklahoma. Another game that I really don't understand the number at all. Iowa State at Akron. 9.5. Iowa State, who go toe-to-toe in double overtime with Iowa against the Zips, and it's only 10 points?
Zips.
I'm all over Iowa State. San Francisco at Seattle, we talked about that one. Still under 2 touchdowns. What, are you kidding me? They might get that by the first quarter. That, to me, is a gift. Also, I'm going to take Oregon State at Washington State. At Washington State. Washington State, are you kidding me? Oregon State, I think, lost to the cast of The Littlest Hobo.
Oh, that was a good cast, though.
They play ball, man.
Yeah, they're
Saturday afternoons.
apparently not that great.
CTV.
Yeah, -21. Don't worry about that. Washington State. That's Mike Leach's team. This is the best start they've had in a bunch of years. Washington State. I'm not saying they're elite, but within the Pac-12, you're talking about a team that's going to fight a little bit against someone who doesn't fight at all. So in this case, Beavers lose. Anything? No, just on that.
Beavers.
Yeah, Beavers.
Sure, it piques my interest. Why wouldn't it? I'm actually making a move. I'm moving down to Costa Rica. My expose on Costa Rican strip clubs is not finished, and I really need to grind it out down there for a little while.
Strip clubs in Costa Rica, what would you rate it out of 10?
14.
14.
Yeah, so I got to get down there. You know what? I think me gusta mucho la palando.
That's a pretty
I
good
think I'm
rating.
going to like it a lot. Oh, and finally, the last one, Virginia Tech at East Carolina. Over the years, East Carolina, the Pirates, that's a place you didn't necessarily want to go. It was a tough place to play, and they scored a lot of points. But that was a long time ago. They don't do any of that. Virginia Tech's going to go in there. It's under 23 points, under 24 points. I'm comfortable with it. It's -22.5. Once again, all these lines courtesy of Sports Interaction. So those are my 5 picks of Golden Sex.
Shit.
Now, you've been waiting for it.
Yeah, you have.
Here it comes, Dave.
You know you have.
It's Friday,
Foreplay.
and you know what that means. A little full play with Dave Bastel. He gonna give you some foreplay you won't forget. Brought to you by Sports Interaction, Canada's online sports book.
Yeah. There you
Something
go.
to me, big sexy.
Oh, big sex. Here you go.
Sploosh.
And we got Barry White in there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's,
That's been
got a
the
lot of-
budget of the show
got-
is going through the roof.
got more money now.
This is fantastic. I love it.
There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna latch on to the bags picks with 2 of them right away. New England -6.5 points. Of course, if you're gonna give me under a touchdown in the Patriots losing 2 games, has that happened in the last decade? I don't think it has. I don't know. I'm going to take the Patriots at the Superdome to win big. Also, that's crazy that the Jets are under 2 touchdowns. So give me the Raiders -13.5 because by game time, that's probably going to be 14.5, 15, and then you're going to have to start making decisions. If it gets to that, still take the Raiders and give away the points. That's fine there. One of my upset specials of the week, I like the Philadelphia Eagles this week. I love what their defense did week 1 on the road. They played really, really well. You get 6 points here in the Eagles, and this Eagles offense, a lot of gifts. Alshon Jeffrey really never came out to play last week. He will start to kind of maneuver himself into this Eagles lineup. I look at Alshon Jeffrey as a big threat to stretch the field with Carson Wentz. Look for the Eagles. Maybe they don't win, but you're getting 6 points. I love them in a tight game, so take the Eagles plus the 6 points. And I got the Falcons -2.5 points. I think the offense wakes up in the opening of their brand new stadium. Look for the over as well, and these 2 teams will play shootout. And you know what? Here's your test, Green Bay. If you could stop the fastest team on turf, I'll give you credit. Until you do, I'm not going to give you credit until you do. So there you go. Take the Falcons -2.5 points under the field goal. We'll see what happens at kickoff too. That's a Sunday night game, by the way.
Yeah, man. Well, is Sarkisian on the bottle? Because that's a question that we'll always have about that guy, offensive coordinator of the Falcons.
It's different, but you know what? The Falcons have so many weapons. It's almost like They don't have the same level of the offense coordinators they had last year. I know he's in San Francisco, but I just think there's too much for the Falcons not to score points. It will be a heavy. If you want to go real safe, go with the over in that game. But I got the Falcons only because it's under the 3 points. So it won't be a 1 point game. It won't be a 2 point game. It'll be at least a 3 or more.
There's your foreplay. Now, what else do we got coming up? I just saw the...
You saw the limousine outside.
Yeah.
You know what that means.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's back. Usually you see him on Thursday. Today it's on the Friday. We welcome back Victor Newman to the studio. Victor, good to see you. And it's always nice having Jimmy the Bag in here with you as well, isn't it?
I have to disagree with you on that one. Hello, Timmy. How the hell are you?
It's Jimmy.
Yeah, whatever. I saw you sweating when you walked into the studio. I think you're on the damn crack cocaine. You with those damn crack whores. Is that what you do? Are you on the pot?
I hang out with crack whores, but I mean, I don't smoke crack.
That's enough of that, all right? I heard some of your picks. And damn boozer, too. You've got to get some help, all right? I'm Victor Newman. And I'll help you any way I can. And by the way, I want you to say hello to your mother for me as well, all right?
Will do.
All right, we're not going to be silly this week.
No.
We have to get to the damn picks.
Oh,
I'm not
yes.
gonna
Do it.
fall for your things, David Bastel. By the way, I want you to say hello
Yes.
to your mother as well.
You haven't said hi to Russell's mother as well.
Keep the hell up. Shut the hell up. I'm not talking to you. He's doing a damn good job, Russell. He's like my son, Nicholas. Except not as attractive and much shorter. All right, here we're going to go. Here's what I'm going to start with. College football. Central Michigan at Syracuse. Plus 10 for Central Michigan. I'll tell you what. The damn Chippewas. It's too many points. Syracuse. Not that damn good. And besides, orange is a ridiculous color for a uniform. Take plus 10 in Central Michigan. Oklahoma State at Pittsburgh. If anyone's going to make orange look good, it's damn Oklahoma State. And they will, even though it's a huge number. Minus 13, but Pittsburgh is damn terrible. It's also an ugly town. I don't give a damn what Pierre Maguire says. And he too can shut the hell up. He's losing his hair. He's a damn baldy.
It's been like that for a while, Vic.
Let me continue. All right, David? A damn handsome boy, but you talk too much. Saskatchewan at Hamilton at minus 5. It is a terrible football number. Let me tell you something right now. Saskatchewan can score a lot of points. A lot more than Hamilton. And even with, what's his name, Mazzoli. I don't like Italians. I don't think they'll do well.
Don't think he's Italian.
Shut the hell up. And finally, the New York Jets at Oakland. Oakland. That's another armpit of a city. But I do a lot of work there for the...
Easter Seals.
Yes, the Easter Seals. Minus 13.5, no problem. Victor Newman says, take the damn Oakland Raiders. What do you think of that, Timmy the Bag? What do you think? Damn despicable.
I don't know. Is your mom still alive, Vic? 'Cause
You leave my damn mother out of it. She's a saint. I'm Victor Newman. You got that?
sorry, Vic.
And those are my picks I'm giving you this week. But that is not the biggest thing that happens for Victor Newman on the show today. I'm back to David Bastel for a huge announcement, all right?
Huge announcement, yeah. It's coming, and while we continue to play that music, Mike Richards back in studio. Massive kudos to you for pulling this one off, because he does limited media appearances, and we're talking about the character of Victor Newman, Eric Braeden.
Eric Braeden joined us, about a year, two years ago, I guess now, unbelievably so. Eric Braeden, at the end of October, I want to say it's around the 29th of October, I reached out to Eric. He got back to me. He's going to be on Raw Mike Richards in the studio. We're saying the 29th, give or take a day or two. We're working with his guy, Charles. Eric, we so much appreciate it. We haven't seen you in a couple of years, but he wants to come in studio. We better get security. So once again, October the 29th, and around that time, Eric Braeden, live in studio on rawmike.richards.com. Do you think I wonder if he's going to be nicer to Jimmy then, I think.
He might be. Yes.
I hope so.
So if you want the rest of these picks, as I said, hopefully you'll go back to the website, and we're going to figure out a way as well. This is one of the things that we have to get to, and that is where they can just see them automatically, Dave.
Yeah.
Where you can just see what the three of us have done, because we're going to do this every week or whatever. Like, we're going to figure out a way to see Jimmy's picks as well, because that's what Fridays are going to be about. Courtesy of our friends at Sports Interaction, we're going to bring you all this stuff. As I said, there's a couple of big announcements that are going to happen next week as well that I'm really thrilled about. But the big one for us, and in terms of what we've always done in the show, is the picks, Dave, on Friday.
Yep. Friday's a staple for us, right? I mean, for the next, I'm going to say 4 months.
Yeah.
Friday's all about gambling. It's Gambletron 2000 here on Fridays on Ron Mike Richards. We're going to get all sorts of picks all season. Of course, Sports Interaction backing us as far as numbers are concerned. So check them out online, sportsinteraction.com. And it's not only, the totals and the spreads and the money line and so on. If you look at every single individual game on sportsinteraction.com, there's sometimes over 75 to 100 different bets on those particular games.
Minimum.
And we're not talking just player props on yardage and passing yards and all that kind of good stuff. We're talking about alternative scores, alternative spreads, who scores first, what method, players in particular. It's awesome. All you have to do is head out to sportsinteraction.com, click on where it says plus, and it says usually in the corner, for example, I'm looking at Arizona, Indianapolis, plus 66. There is over 66 additional bets on top of it. Scroll down. It's almost like the ultimate Christmas catalog where you're like, I can't wait to go through this. And it is, you could spend hours on it, to tell you the honest truth. And log on, take advantage of the money that they're giving you. It's 100% bonus up to $200 when you sign in, make your first deposit. If you only have $50, you got $100 because they're going to match that. So take advantage of that. Get on there, and you know what? Enjoy the NFL season. It's only week number 2, and there's still plenty of action to go. Baseball playoffs are coming up in about 14, 20 days, somewhere around there, early October. So there's lots to do. NHL season right around the corner. Leafs start training camp today. They're on the ice. Next week, we're going to talk more about that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on betting-wise for what we call the North American sports. There's always something to bet on, no matter where you bet and how you bet, but North American sports dominate. NBA at the end of October kicks off their season. Looking forward to that. So get on sportsinteraction.com and take advantage.
And also keep in mind, as Dave is talking about Sports Interaction, this is why they're our partners. They're also heard across the country on Sunday on Inside the Lines, in which David Bastel is obviously a part of that show. Do you know what's coming up from week to week? Can we promote on a Friday? Is there a guest that you know that's coming on?
Basically, what we do is every Sunday morning, 10 o'clock on the Fan 590, we go 2.5 hours. We give you your ultimate kickoff edition of the show.
Also heard in Calgary on the Fan.
Also heard in Calgary and in Vancouver as well.
Yeah.
You know what? We have a couple different guests that drop in. Todd Furman from Las Vegas comes in. He used to be the head of Caesars betting as far as setting up the lines for all Caesars properties.
Todd Furman, but that's not the OJ guy.
No, this is the much cooler guy and much younger as well.
Yeah, he's a tougher lines maker.
No, he is a different lines maker. Worked for Don Best as well, so he's very connected. And you know what? We're going to have him on the show probably in the next couple of weeks. Also, Phil Gray. He's a senior lines manager at Sports Interaction. He's a regular on the program, so we set you up for what promises to be another good week of sitting in front of the television, in front of the laptop, the phone, whatever your method of pay is, as far as watching the action and kind of figuring out what we like, what you like, and giving you different opinions.
Now, Jimmy, if they want to get what you're doing on a daily basis,
Every day.
Yeah. So how are they getting that?
Follow me at Twitter at Jimmy the Bag. Film my action and put it out every single day.
Every single day.
Every day.
Well, and also when baseball comes, you got to be huge for us on that one.
Oh, I'd love
because that's your area.
I'd love to. And the bag is hot. The block is hot. Up 1,056 in the last 3 days. Everybody that's running with me is making more money than I'm making for whatever reason. But we are very hot. The bags team is having a really good September.
And that's what on Twitter.
At Jimmy the Bag.
At Jimmy the Bag. Okay, fantastic. That was hey, this was a great way to finish what was an awesome week for us.
What? We just become best friends? Yep. You want to go do karate in the garage?
Yes.
Yep. Yes. It's time!
like to thank Jimmy the Bag for coming in today. Oh, there's Will Strickland. Look at him there. Better not be taking stuff. Yeah, that's called profiling. That's what. So we are going to talk next week as well. We got another couple big announcements, and one of them is massive, and another one actually has to do with where you can hear us. That's right, here as well. Thanks for a fantastic week. Appreciate it. Thanks to Sports Interaction. Have yourself a great weekend. Remember, subscribe to rawmikeRichards.com or rawmikeRichards.com, the dedicated YouTube channel.